Is this on? You guys hear me? Oh, well, that's better. Oh, there we go. What's going on, everybody? My name is Greg Peters, in case you forgot, and you are watching the Car Passion Channel, the place where I teach you how to make your Miata faster than all of your friends' cars. Now, I haven't posted a video here in a few months, and I'm sure all of you are wondering why, and where I've been, and what's up with the car. Well, today I am here to answer your questions. Now, I'm not really taking on any big projects with the Miata today. I'm just doing somewhat of a little exterior restoration. A lot of people with older cars can probably relate to this. You know how little things kind of go wrong all the time, and individually, none of them are really that big of a deal. You just kind of put them off, but eventually, a lot of those things happen and you feel like your car's a complete rattle trap and it's just gonna fall apart. Well, I've kind of been feeling like that with the exterior of the Miata. So I'm gonna fix a bunch of little things today. I'm gonna talk about the car, its status, what I've done while I've been gone, and kind of what my plan is going forward. We're jumping right back into this. Meet me out by the Miata. So before I get started with the car, I have to answer some of your guys' biggest questions. Where has Car Passion been? Where are the videos at? Are you quitting YouTube? Are you dead, bro? I'm right here, man, it's cool. I wouldn't just leave you guys forever. So a couple of things happened back in April. Number one, I blew up the third transmission in the Miata, and at that point I was so over pulling transmissions I said, you know what, the car is gonna go down until the Getrag transmission swap is finished. And then about a week later, I got offered a big promotion at my work, which was pretty important to me because I've been working in the industry that I'm in for over 6 years. So to be able to get a position like this was pretty huge for me. But that entailed going from about 35 hours a week to about 65. And the difference there, 30 hours, that was all the time that I used to spend on YouTube. So I just simply didn't have the time to make the videos, but I knew I was gonna have to take a break, which is why I posted this back in April on all my social medias to try to reach as much of you guys as possible to keep you updated, let you know what's going on. But for all the people that didn't see it, I'm back, baby. A lot of people ask what I do for a living, so I'm thinking about throwing together a little day in the life type video to show you what a typical day is like for me. All right, so let's talk about the car and what I've done to it since April. I'm gonna be real honest with you guys and tell you that there is not a whole lot done. I tore out the whole interior. Yes, I know, it's complete trash right now. That's just in preparation for the transmission swap. And then the big prep I did is underneath the car, full rear subframe drop, because in order to run the Miata Torsen mount, you actually need an NB rear subframe. You can have tabs welded to your 1.6 subframe, but I figured it was easy enough to swap since I already have an NB parts car. So that's dropped and that's all stripped out. But honestly, I haven't done pretty much anything else because I still want to film the whole swap and the progress of this car. So you could look at it like, oh man, that's weak, I didn't get anything done on the car in 3 months. Or you could look at it like all the good stuff is still to come and I'm gonna be filming it and now you get to see it all. Another huge chunk of motivation for me is coming from the fact that Miatas at Laguna Seca is the weekend of September 14th. That's only 6 weeks away. Now, I've been to Miatas at Laguna Seca 2 times. One time in Broken Boosted and one time in my girlfriend's Z46. I've never got to bring this car before. I've also heard rumors now that since Mazda doesn't sponsor Laguna Seca anymore, it's sponsored by WeatherTech, that this might be the last year of Miatas at Laguna Seca. And you know I'm not missing that, and you know that this car is gonna be there. So I just gotta put the hammer down and get it done. So I got the old subframe and 5-speed out right there, spare Torsen in case I blow mine up. And then in here we got the NB subframe, got the control arms, we got energy suspension bushing kit. I'm gonna show you guys how to install some bushings. There is half the Miata in this garage right here. There's a little box of fun back there, more parts in that box right there. There's another box right there of stuff. I can't really show you what's to the right of that. Yeah, I can't really show you anything else. You're just gonna have to wait and see what else I got in store. So now that you guys pretty much know what my plan is, I'm gonna get working on some of those knickknacks that I told you were bothering me about the Miata. So while I was building the engine, something bad happened. Headlight goes up, Headlight goes down. The headlight motor just straight up died on this side. And I need to be able to put both headlights down for maximum aero. So I've never done a headlight motor before, and really the only thing that kind of sketches me out is trying to pop off the headlight rod without breaking it. There's a little plastic bushing in there. There we go. So if you're ever driving in your NA and your headlights are going like this, all you need to do is replace those headlight rods. I think they're like 15 or 20 bucks. 3 10 mil bolts, and that baby is out. Woohoo! Wish transmissions were that easy to swap. Okay, this is a real easy one. These things usually only last about 6 months. Pro tip though, don't go to O'Reilly's and buy like the giant O-rings, because those things only last about 6 days. I get these on, I think FR Sport or maybe Password JDM, but make sure you get the bands that are actually designed for the quick release bumper kits, and they last a lot longer. I know y'all think I'm rice for having these and I don't actually have a quick release bumper, but the real backstory is that the previous owner had some 99-cent Home Depot latches drilled into the fender, and this was just a cleaner way to cover up those old holes. Yeah, I know it's broken, okay? But I'm not gonna replace it yet, because one of the lips that I broke was because of pulling out of the backyard. I literally broke the lip going through a dip in the backyard, and I am not gonna put this new lip on until the car is out in front again. I just bought it to show you guys that I actually do care about having a nice lip. Speaking of backing out, I guess I've got some explaining to do on this one too. Okay, but hear me out on this one. The VVT Beast was running for the first time. The engine had 0 miles on it. I'm backing it out around my house. I'm super nervous, wondering if anything's gonna go wrong with the engine. I have a brand new, super aggressive twin disc clutch in it that I've never driven before, so I'm backing around the house. I gotta squirm the car between a tree and my girlfriend's car. I'm watching the car in the mirror, making sure I can just get by it. I kind of forgot the tree was there, so I just sailed the car right into the tree. I was so sad I did that. I super glued the taillight back together before I even drove the car. I just could not be seen in public with a busted taillight. But I got a finish panel and a taillight so I can get the Miata's rear end big booty shaped up again. But before I install that taillight, I need to mod it. So I got my taillight here courtesy of Danny Courtney. Thanks, my man, for hooking it up. And it's kind of got all this ugly lettering on it, and I don't really like all this ugly lettering. It's easy to get rid of, and I love the look of tails that have all the lettering shaved off. It's just a quick, cheap, and easy way to get the rear end of your Miata looking a little bit cleaner. Step 1, 320 grit sandpaper. Sand those bad boys down until they are gone. Once you're done with that, the light will look like this. No lettering, but obviously very scuffed up. So now I need to repair the plastic. Give it a little water, 600 grit. I like to go in the opposite direction of the other sandpaper so I can tell when I've taken out all of the deep scratches. So I'm gonna keep doing this all the way up to 3000 grit. So after the 3000, it's getting pretty smooth, it's decent, but it still looks cloudy. That's where we hit it with some of the most magical juice in the car kingdom, 3M rubbing compound. This stuff works better than anything I've ever used. Look at that. Look how you can see the reflection of the rag in that bad boy. Mechanically speaking, a finish panel is not very hard to replace. The hard part is not shattering it when you remove it, because these things are more fragile than overcooked bacon. Remove your taillights with a couple of 10mm nuts. Very boost, much PSI. Wow. Alright, this part's important, so listen up. The finish panel only has 2 nuts on it, 1 on each side. But it's got these little squeezy boys that you gotta get some pliers on, and you're gonna squeeze that black cone looking thing so it can pop through and free up the finish panel. But when you pop that thing loose, do not pull on the finish panel right here because it's still held on in the middle, and you guaranteed will break your finish panel if you do it. And you have to slide it off of this little clip thing. Now I can throw on my flashers when I'm smoking them muscle cars, boys. I don't really like horse meat, but I'll slaughter a Mustang every now and then, know what I mean? Okay, the freshness continues. Now, one thing that's a bummer about the tops being fiberglass on these cars is when the paint chips, you can just see the white fiberglass, and it really looks horrible. And I've got not just that, but little things like this everywhere on the car, on the fender. So I got this awesome little 2-tip touch-up paint pen in classic red, the actual color of my car. And I'm gonna try it out and see if I can at least touch up some of the bad spots. Yeah, look at the flare on that fender. Now obviously it's not gonna fill in and make the paint perfect again, but what I'm just trying to do is cover up the spots on the car that are either metallic colored or white. I mean, as you can see already, it looks way better than it did. Since nightfall is upon us, I think I got time for just one more little thing, and it has to be a mod, because I can't go an entire video without doing a mod. So I found this sick little Sparko toe strap that goes in place of your tow hook. I'm gonna throw this on and see how nice it looks. It's gonna be spectacular. If you guys wanna pick one of these up too, I got the link down in the description. I wonder if the exhaust is just gonna melt that thing. Even think about that. Is it rice? Is it cool? I don't know. Technically I need a rear tow hook, and I don't like those huge aftermarket anodized looking things either, so I think it's a good solution. Alright guys, well that's all I got for you in this video. If there's something I didn't talk about you were hoping I was going to cover, drop it down in the comments below. If you enjoyed it, if you're ready to see this Miata content start rolling out again, smash that like button harder than I'm going to smash your dad's Challenger at the drag strip. I got 6 short weeks to get this car running and ready for Laguna Seca so I can bring it up and meet some of you guys. It's going to be a challenge, but I'm up for it, and I hope you guys are too. I will see you in the next one. Peace out.